Welcome back, everybody. Hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and New Year's, just like I did. But now it's time to put the Christmas tree away, savor the last of our marshmallow hot chocolate and cookies, and shift our focus to our New Year's resolutions. And like many, we resolved to embrace a healthier lifestyle with nutritious foods and clean eating, but that's only going to last probably a few weeks, because that's how long it lasts for me. All right, everybody. Luckily, we have our friend. He's world-renowned doctor and chief scientific officer at the wellness company, Dr. Peter McCullough, here to discuss how we can curb those cravings, but also the very recent news from earlier today that the CDC has drastically reduced the vaccine schedule for children. So I'm looking forward to diving into that with Dr. McCullough. Thanks so much for being with us, and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Dr. McCullough, we went down, I've seen a few different figures, but it looks like most everybody agrees we've gone now from 72 to roughly 11. Your thoughts on that?
Now, this is really a stunning development. It looks like the chain of command was Trump, then RFK, and then acting CDC Director Jim O'Neill, who's not a doctor. They've bypassed the ACIP panel, the Adult Committee Advisory Committee on Immunization Practice. They bypassed the panel altogether, and they count 83 doses now reduced by 55 doses, 11 different diseases being immunized down to 11 diseases. So the U.S. vaccine schedule now looks a lot more like Scandinavia and other countries where there is no resurgence of legacy diseases like diphtheria or tetanus or measles, mumps, rubella. In fact, those vaccines are still on the schedule, but the overall burden of vaccines on children is dramatically reduced.
Yeah, pretty remarkable, and a remarkable dynamic. Is this a moment where medicine gets rebooted in America? I mean, a lot of people feel like, I want to trust my doctor, but all these public health officials say, I can't. We went through the COVID-19 thing. We get bombarded with vaccines. Sometimes they don't work, like the flu vaccine or COVID-19. Are we at a moment of maybe an extraordinary reboot in our great medical profession?
We haven't. You know, I think who gave the boot was Trump. I think Trump booted the doctors into action to say, listen, we've got to get to a more reasonable vaccine schedule. There still are great concerns. If the vaccines, even on the more trimmed schedule, if they're given later in life, they're going to be far safer. We do need to rebuild trust, no doubt about it. And one of the things that's come up, John, is the CDC still promoting influenza vaccination. Every year, they seem to get it wrong. And, about 3/4 of people hospitalized with influenza have taken the vaccine. So it's obvious it doesn't work.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Dr. McCullough, I am one of many, many, many Americans, I'm sure, who feels like I gained quite a bit of weight over the holidays. I did not hold back on anything, and I had a grand time, but now I'm regretting it just a little bit. But there are a lot of Americans who have relied on things like GLP-1 to get their weight under management. And I get it for people who are morbidly obese, they have diabetes, those types of health issues. But there are a lot of really, really bad side effects. What's the alternative?
GLP-1 receptor agonists have been on the market now 20 years. I've been using them 20 years in my practice. The prescription ones have been injection. They've gone from once a day to once a week. The problem is they have side effects in a lot of people. And once they're injected, you can't get them out of the body. The huge breakthrough for someone like you, Amanda, is DROP. DROP is a triple-acting GLP-1, but it's given by oral drops. You can control the dose. You don't need much of it. And it works very well in assisting people in trimming weight. So not only does it cut hunger and food urges, but it actually changes the metabolism in the body very favorably, synchronizes the brain, the intestines, the stomach, and people naturally lose weight.
Yeah, one of the things I was reading on your site, in fact, is the fact that with DROP, there are fewer side effects than there are with an injectable GLP-1. Tell us a little bit about why they act differently and why we have fewer side effects with DROP.
That's our clinical observation. We clearly need large, prospective, double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled trials. This would be perfect for the new, Trump, RFK, Bhattacharya, NIH administration to challenge the big pharma, getting these injections, which are very expensive and have side effects, with something, simpler, like oral drops from the wellness company, a very well-named product called DROP. There's also a wellness company product called Appetite. It helps curb appetite. when people get control over their food urges, and make healthy choices, reduce portions and exercise, the weight comes off. And this is great news for Americans.
Yeah. Before we let you go, favorite form of exercise, something that could accompany drop very well?
My favorite and the most efficient is running. I recognize a lot of people can't do running. So sometimes when I'm in hotel rooms, and I know this applies to both of you, just doing something called a burpee. And that is going on the floor from a push-up, standing up to a jumping jack, back down to a push-up. If you do 10 of those, you get short of breath. Literally, it takes just a matter of minutes. Everybody needs a burst of energy. After this interview, that's what I'm going to do.
How about that?
I got to be honest, after 10 burpees, I feel like throwing up. It's not just shortness of breath. World-renowned doctor, Chief Scientific Officer at the Wellness Company, Dr. Peter McCullough. Great to see you, sir. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.